Hi guys, I'm back. Today I'm going to read Genesis 10 to 18, Proverbs 12, and Psalm 16. Let's start. These are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Woodson off the floor. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshach, and Tiras. The sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Rephath, and Tegal. The sons of Javan, Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, Jordan. From these the coastline people spread their lands. Each with his own land, divided clans and their nations. The sons of Ham, Cush, Egypt, Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush, Sheba, Havilah, Sabta, Rama, and Sabteka. The sons of Rama, Sheba, and David. And Cush, father of Nimrod, he was the first one not to be a mighty man. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord, therefore it is said, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. The beginning of his kingdom was Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh, and land of Shinar. And then he went into Assyria and built Nineveh, Rehoboth, Calah, and Resen between Nineveh and Calah. And there's a great city. Egypt followed Ludim, and Amim, Lehabim, Nephthaim, Pathrusim, Casluhim, and Caphtorim. Canaan followed Sidon, firstborn Heth. And Jebusite, the Amorites, the Girgashites, the Herites, the Archites, the Sinites, the Arvadites, the Zemarites, the Hamathites. After the clans of the Canaanites dispersed, and the territory of the Canaanites extended from Sidon in the direction of Gerar as follows. Gaza in the direction of Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, and Zeboim as far as Lasha. And these are the sons of Ham by the clans of languages, their lands, and their nations. And Shem, the father of all the children of Eber, the elder brother of Japheth, children were born. The sons of Shem, Elam, Asher, and Pasha, Lad, and Noah. Sons of Aram, Elzahol, Getha, and Mash. And Pasha followed Shelah, and Shelah followed Eber. To Eber were born two sons. The name of the one was Peleg, for in his days the earth was divided. His birth name was Joktan. Joktan followed Amda. Shelah, Hazel, Mavis, Jerah, Hadoram, Uzal, Dikla, Ubal, Abimael, Sheba, Ophir, Havilah, and Jeba. All these were the sons of Joktan. The territory in which they lived extended from Mesha in the direction of Sephar to the whole country of the east. These are the sons of Shem by their clans, their languages, their lands, and their nations. These are the clans of sons of Noah according to their genealogies and their nation. And from these nations spread abroad on the earth after the flood. And the whole earth had one language and the same words. And the people migrated from the east. They found a plain in the land of Shinar and settled there. And they said to one another, "Come, let us make bricks and burn them thoroughly." And they had brick for stone and bitumen for mortar. And they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower with its top in the heavens. And let's make a name for ourselves, lest we be dispersed over the face of the whole earth." And all came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men had built. And lo, said, "Behold, they are one people, and they have all one language." It's only the beginning of what they will do. Nothing they propose to do will now be impossible for them. Come, let's go down there and confuse their language, so that they may not understand one another's speech. And the Lord dispersed them from there over the face of all the earth. They left off building the city, therefore its name is called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of all the earth. From there the Lord dispersed them over the face of all the earth. These are generations of Shem. When Shem was 100 years old, he fathered Arpachshad 2 years after the flood. When Shem lived after he fathered Arpachshad 500 years, and had the sons and daughters. And Arpachshad lived 35 years, he fathered Shelah. And Arpachshad lived after he fathered Shelah 400 years, and other sons and daughters. When Shelah lived 30 years, he fathered Eber. And Shelah lived after he fathered Eber 403 years, and other sons and daughters. When Eber lived 34 years, he fathered Peleg. And Eber lived after he fathered Peleg 430 years, and other sons and daughters. And Peleg lived 30 years, he fathered Ru. And Peleg lived after he fathered Ru 209 years, and other sons and daughters. And Serug lived 30 years, he fathered Nahor. And Serug lived after he fathered Nahor 200 years, and other sons and daughters. And Nahor lived 29 years, he fathered Terah. Nahor lived after he fathered Terah 119 years, and had other sons and daughters. And Terah lived 170 years, he lived father Abraham, Nahor, and Haran. Yeah, these are the generations of Terah. Terah fathered Abraham, Nahor, and Haran. Haran fathered Lot. Haran died in the presence of Terah, his father Terah, and then his kin. Giants Abraham and Nahor took wives. The name of Abraham's wife was Sarah, and the name of Nahor's wife Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and Tirzah. Milcah is good. Now Sarah was barren, she had no child. And Terah took Abraham's son Lot, the son of Haran, his grandson, and Sarah his daughter-in-law, the son of Abraham's wife. And they went together from the Chaldeans to go into the land of Canaan. And they came to Haran, they settled there. They did Terah 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. And the Lord said to Abraham, "Go from the country to your kindred, your father's house to the land I'll show you. Now make you a great nation. I'll bless you in the beginning, and you will be blessed. I'll bless those you bless, and those who make sons you shall curse, and all the families that shall be blessed." And Abraham went as the Lord had told him, not went with him. Abraham was 75 years old, he departed from Haran. And Abraham took Sarah his wife, and Lot his brother's son, all the possessions that they had gathered, and the people that they had acquired in Haran. They set out to go to the land of Canaan. When they came to the land of Canaan, Abraham passed over the land to the place of Shechem, to Gomorrah. At the time the Canaanites were in the land, and the Lord appeared to Abraham and said, "To you, I'll good this land." So he built there an altar to the Lord who appeared to him. And they had moved from the hill country to the east, to Bethel and pitched his tent in Behal, with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. And there he built an altar to the Lord and called upon the name of the Lord. And Abram journeyed on, still going toward the Negev. While there was a famine in the land, so Abram went down to Egypt to sojourn. A famine was severe in the land. When he was about to enter Egypt, he said to Sarai's wife, "Neither you are a woman beautiful in appearance, and when the Egyptians see you, they will say, 'This is his wife.' And they will kill me, but they'll let you live. Say that you are my sister, and they will go well with me because of you. Then my life may be spared for your sake." When Abraham entered Egypt, the Egyptians saw that the woman was very beautiful. And the prince of Pharaoh saw her, they praised her to Pharaoh, and the woman was taken to Pharaoh's house. And for her sake he dealt well with Abraham, and he had sheep and oxen, male donkeys, male servants, female servants, female donkeys, and camels. And the Lord afflicted Pharaoh, and his house was great plagues because of Sarah. And Abraham saw so Pharaoh called Abraham and said, "What has you done to me? Why do you not tell me that she was your wife? Why did you say she was my sister? So I took her for my wife. Now then, here's your wife, take her and go." And Pharaoh gave him orders concerning her. He sent her away with his wife and all they had. So Abraham went up from Egypt, he and his wife and all they had, and Lot with him into the Negev. Now Abraham was very rich in livestock and silver and gold, and he journeyed on from the Negev as far as Bethel to a place where he had made an altar at the first. And there Abraham called upon the name of the Lord. And Lot, who went with Abraham, sent flocks and herds and tents, so the land could not support both of them dwelling together. Their possessions were so great that they could not dwell together. And there was strife between the herdsmen of Abraham's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock. At time the Canaanites and Perizzites were dwelling in the land. And Abraham said to Lot, "Let there be no strife between you and me, and between your herdsmen and my herdsmen, for you can not the whole land before you. You separate yourself from me. You take the left hand, then I'll go to the right. Or if you take the right hand, I'll go to the left." And Lot lifted up his eyes and saw the Jordan Valley as well, water everywhere, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, in the direction of Zoar. So Lot chose for himself all the Jordan Valley, and Lot journeyed east. And so thus they separated from each other. Abraham settled in the land of Canaan, and while Lot settled among the seeds of and moved his sin as far as Sodom. Now the men of Sodom were wicked, great sinners against the Lord. And the Lord said to Abraham, after Lot had separated from him, "Lift up your eyes and look from the place where you are, northward and southward, eastward and westward, for the land you see I'll give to you and to your offspring forever. Now make your offspring as the dust of the earth, so that if no one can count the dust of the earth, your offspring also can be counted. Arise, walk through the length and the breadth of the land, and I'll give it to you." So Abraham moved his tent and came and settled by the brooks of Mamre, which are at Hebron. There he built an altar to the Lord. In the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar, Ariel, king of Elisah, Chedorlaomer, king of Elah, and Tidal, king of Boy, and these kings made war with Berak, king of Sodom, Bersha, king of Gomorrah, Shinab, king of Admah, Shemabah, king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, and all these joined forces by Sidon. 12 years after he served Chedorlaomer, and the 13th year they rebelled, and the 14th year Chedorlaomer and the kings with him came and defeated the Rephaim and Ashtaroth, Karnaim, and Zuzah and Ham, the Ammon and Shaveh, Kirithaim, and the Horites in the hill country as far as Elpah, on the border of wilderness. And they turned back and came to Ishmael, and defeated all the country of the Amalekites. And so the Amorites who were dwelling in Hazazon Tamar, the king of Sodom, the king of Gomorrah, the king of Admah, the king of Zeboim, the king of Bela, and went out, and they joined battle in the valley. Yasu, the Chedorlaomer, king of Elah, and Tidal, king of Boim, and Raphael, king of Shinar, and Ariel, king of Elisah, 4 kings against 5. Now the valley of Sidon was full of bitumen pits. The kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled some fountain, and the rest fled to the hill country. So the enemy took all the provisions of Sodom and Gomorrah, and all their provisions, and went their way. These who took Lot, the son of Abraham's brother, who was dwelling in Sodom's possessions, and went their way. The one who escaped came and told Abraham the Hebrew, who was living by the oaks of Mamre the Amorite, brother Eshtaol of Aner. These were allies of Abraham. When Abraham heard the kinsmen had been taken captive, he led forth his trained men, born in his house 318 of them, and went in pursuit as far as Dan. And he divided his forces against them by night. He and his sons defeated them and pursued them to Hobah, north of Damascus. He brought back all the possessions, also brought back the kinsmen Lot and his possession, the woman and the people. After this returned from the defeat of Chedorlaomer and the kings who were with him. And the king of Sodom went out to meet at the valley of Shaveh. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought up bread and wine. And he blessed him and said, "Blessed be Abraham by God Most High, possessor of heaven and earth. And blessed be God Most High, who has delivered your enemies in your hand." And Abraham gave him a tenth of everything. The king of Sodom said to Abraham, "Give me the person to take the goods for yourself." And Abraham said to the king of Sodom, "Lift up my hand to the Lord God Most High. God Most High, possessor of heaven and earth. I would not take a third of a single strap or anything that is yours. But you should say, I made Abraham rich. I will take nothing but what the young men had eaten, and share the men who went with thee. Let Aner, Eshcol, and Mamre take their share." After these things were, the Lord came to Abraham in a vision, and "Fear not, Abraham, I am your shield. Your reward shall be very good." But Abraham said, "O Lord God, what will you give me? For I continue childless, and here my house is the leaves of Damascus." And Abraham said, "Behold, you have given me no offspring, and men of my household will be my head." And behold, the word of the Lord came to him, "This man shall not be your head, your very own son shall be your head." And he brought him outside and said, "Look toward heaven, and you number the stars, if you are able to number them." And he said to him, "So shall your offspring be." And he believed the Lord has come to him as righteousness. And he said to him, "I am the Lord who brought you out of the land of Canaan, from the Chaldeans, and to go this land to possess. He said, "Look, and how am I to know that I shall possess it?" He said to me, "Bring me a heifer 3 years old, a female goat 3 years old, a ram 3 years old, a toad of a young pigeon." And he brought out all these, cut them in half, and laid each half over against the other. He did not cut the birds in half, and the birds of prey came down on the carcasses as Abraham drove them away. And the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell on Abraham. And behold, a dreadful and dreary darkness fell upon him. And the Lord said to Abraham, "But no for the offspring will be sojourners in the land, there is not theirs, will be servants there. And they will be afflicted for 400 years. And I will bring judgment on the nation there that they serve, and after they shall come out with great possessions. As for you, you shall go to your fathers in peace, shall be buried in a good old age, and you shall come back here in the 4th generation. And the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet complete. The sun gone down, and it is dark. Behold, the smoking firepot and the flaming torch pass between these pieces. On the day the Lord made a covenant with Abraham, saying, To your offspring, and I give this land from the river of Egypt to the great river, the river Euphrates. And now the Kenites, the Kenizzites, the Cadmonites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Rephaim, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Girgashites, and the Jebusites. And as Sarai, Abraham's wife, had born no child, and she had a female Egyptian servant named Hagar. And Sarai said to Abraham, Behold, now the Lord has prevented me from bearing children. Go into my servant, maybe that I shall obtain children by her. Abraham listened to the voice of Sarah. So after Abraham had lived 10 years, the man came, and Sarai, Abraham's wife, took Hagar the Egyptian, a servant, and gave her to Abraham, her husband, as a wife. And he went into Hagar, and she conceived, and she saw that she conceived. He looked with contempt on her mistress. Sarah said to Abraham, May the wrong done to me be on you, and I gave my servant to your own breast. I saw that she had conceived, she bore him. She looked on me with contempt, and the Lord judged between you and me. And Abraham said to Sarah, Behold, your servant is in your power, do it as you please. Then Sarah dealt harshly with her, and she fled from her. The angel of the Lord found her by spring water in the wilderness of spring water her way to shore. He found her Hagar, the servant of Sarah, where have you come from, and where are you going? He said, I am fleeing from her mistress Sarah. The angel of the Lord said to her, Return to your mistress, and then submit to her. The angel of the Lord has said to her, I shall multiply offspring, so that they cannot be numbered by the full multitude. And the angel of the Lord said to her, You shall be pregnant and shall bear a son, and you shall call his name Ishmael. As the Lord has listened to your affliction, you shall be a wild donkey of a man, his hand against everyone, everyone's hand against him. You shall draw over all against his kinsman. And she called the name of the Lord, who spoke to her, You are God, see. But she said, Surely I seen him who looks after me. Therefore the well was called Beer-lahai-roi, and it lies between Kadesh and Beer. And Hagar bore Abraham a son. Abraham called the name of his son, whom Hagar bore Ishmael. Abraham was 86 years old. Hagar bore Ishmael to Abraham. When Abraham was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to Abraham and said to him, God Almighty will perform and be blemished, that I may make my covenant between me and you, and I may multiply you greatly. Then Abraham fell on his face, and God said to him, Behold, my covenant is with you, and you shall be the father of the multitude of nations. No longer shall your name be called Abraham, but your name shall be Abraham, for I made you father of the multitude of nations. And I will make you exceedingly fruitful, and I will make you into nations. A king shall come from you. I will establish my covenant between me and you and your offspring after you throughout the generation for an everlasting covenant. To be God to you and to your offspring after you. I will give to you and to your offspring after you, and the land of your sojournings. All the land came for an everlasting possession. I will be their God. And God said to Abraham, As to you, you shall keep my covenant, you and your offspring throughout their generations. This is my covenant which you shall keep between me and you and your offspring after you. Every male among you shall be circumcised in the flesh of your foreskins. And there shall be a sign of the covenant between me and you. Yours 8 days among you shall be circumcised, every male throughout your generations. Whether born in your house or born with him, when any foreigner is not your sin. With he who is born in your house and he is born with him, when he shall surely be circumcised. And shall my covenant be in your flesh, and for an everlasting covenant. Any uncircumcised male who is not circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin shall be cut from his people. He is breaking my covenant. God said to Abraham, This is Sarah your wife, you shall not call her name Sarah, and Sarah shall be your name. I'll bless her. Moreover, I'll give you a son by her, I'll bless her. You shall become nations, kings of people shall come from her. Then Abraham fell on his face and laughed and said to himself, Shall a child be born to a man who is 100 years old? Shall Sarah, who is 90 years old, bear a child? And Abraham said to God, that Ishmael might live before you. God said, No, but Sarah your wife shall bear your son, and shall call his name Isaac. I'll establish my covenant with him as an everlasting covenant for his offspring after him. As for Ishmael, I have heard you. Behold, I have blessed him, and I will make him fruitful, and multiply him greatly. He shall father 12 princes, and make him into a great nation. But I will establish my covenant with Isaac, whom Sarah shall bear to you at this time next year. And he finished talking with him. God went out from Abraham, and Abraham took Ishmael his son, and all those born in his house, and brought with his money every male among the men of Abraham's house, and he circumcised the flesh of their foreskins. And that very day, as God says, Abraham was 99 years old, and he was circumcised the flesh of his foreskin. Ishmael's son was 13 years old, and he was circumcised the flesh of his foreskin. And that very day, Abraham his son Ishmael was circumcised. And the man in his house, and Belair was born in the house, and those bought with money from a foreigner were circumcised with him. And the Lord picked him by the oaks of Mon. As he sat at the door of his tent in the heat of the day, and he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, 3 men were standing in front of him. And he saw the hero from the tent door to meet them, bowed themselves to the earth, and said, O Lord, if I have found favor in your sight, do not pass by yourself. Let a little wall be brought, and wash your feet, and rest yourselves in the tree, while I bring a morsel of bread. You may refresh yourselves, and after that you may pass on. And so you come to your servants, so they said, do as you said. Abraham went quickly into the tent to Sarah and said, quick, 3 cuts, seize a fine flour, knead it and make cakes. And Abraham ran to his head and took off 10 fingers, and gave it to the young man, and prepared it quickly. And he took cuts of milk and the calf that he had prepared, and set before them. He stood by them under the tree while they ate. And he said to them, where's Sarah your wife? They said, and he said, she is in the tent. Also, I'll surely return to you about this time next year. And Sarah, your wife, shall have a son. And Sarah was listening. And at the tent door behind it. Now Abraham and Sarah were advanced in years. The weird woman ceased to be with Sarah. And Sarah laughed at herself, saying, after I am worn out, my Lord is old. Shall I have pleasure? The Lord said to Abraham. Why did Sarah laugh and say, shall I indeed bear a child another animal? Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the appointed time I return to you at this time next year, and Sarah shall have a son. But Sarah denied, saying, I did not laugh, and she was afraid. He said, no, but he did laugh. And the men stood out from there, and they looked down towards Sodom, and Abraham went with them to set them on their way. And the Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham what I am about to do, seeing that Abraham shall become a great, and shall surely become a great and mighty nation. All the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I have chosen him, he may commit his child and his house after him, to keep the way of the law by doing righteousness and justice. The Lord may bring to Abraham what he has promised. And the Lord said, because our against Sodom and Gomorrah is great. Then this is very great. I'll go down to see whether they have done altogether according to outcry. That I have come to. If not, I will know. And men turned from there and went towards him. Abraham still stood before the Lord. And Abraham drew near and said, will you indeed sweep away the righteous with the suppose the sea, there are 50 righteous within the sea. Will you then sweep away the place and not spare for the 50 righteous in it? I be for me to do such things with the righteous and death with the wicked. And so the righteous fare just as the wicked. Far be that from me. I am not the judge of the earth, do what is just. If I find 750 righteous in the sea, I want to spare the whole place for my mother's sake. Abraham answered and said, behold, I have undertaken to speak to the Lord. I who am but dust and ashes. Suppose 5 of 50 righteous are lacking. Will you destroy the whole sea for lack of 5? He said, I will not destroy if I find 45 there. And again spoke to him and said, suppose 40 are found there. He again said, for the sake of 40, I will not do it. He said, let not the Lord be angry, I will speak. Suppose 30 are found there. And he said, I will not do it if I find 30 there. He answered, behold, I will undertake to suppose 20 are found there. He answered, for the sake of 20 not be destroyed. And he said, let not the Lord be angry, I will speak again but this once. Suppose 10 are found there. He answered, for the sake of 10 I will not destroy. And the Lord went on his way. When he was finished speaking to Abraham, and Abraham returned to his place. Proverbs 12. Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge. He hates a reproof is stupid. A good man takes pay from the Lord. Men are evil devices seeking death. No one starts by wickedness. The root of the righteous will never be moved. An excellent wife is the friend of a husband. She brings shame like one sins, but his thoughts of righteous are just. Against the wicked and deceitful. Words of wicked lie away for blood. The method of outright delivers. The wicked are overthrown and no more. The house of righteous will stay. Man is coming in according to his good sense. What unto some nice is past. Better to be led to have a sound than to play the great man on my foot. Whoever is righteous has regard for the life of his beast, and the mercy of the wicked is cruel. Whoever works the land will plenty, but he who falls worth possesses excellence. Whoever is wicked professes to spoil evildoers. With the root of the righteous bears fruit. And the evil man is ensnared by the transgression of his lips, but the righteous escapes from trouble. Who is mouth, a man satisfied with the work of man's hand comes back to him. Whoever falls right in his own eyes. The vexation of fools no once, but the prudent ignores an insult. Whoever speaks the truth gives honest evidence, and the false woman's others to see. There's one whose rational is like salt thrust, and the tongue of the wise brings healing. Truthful lips endure forever, but long tongues back from him. These in the heart of those who plan evil. Devise evil, those who plan peace have joy. No ill befalls the righteous, will go filled with trouble. Lying lips are abomination to the Lord, those sacrifice flares to lie. Remain considered knowledge, and hard fools proclaim his folly. The hand of the judge on the wall, and the soft people to force labor. Anxiety means always in death. Here go by mission go. No man who is righteous is God to his name. No, the way the wicked leaves to astray, whoever is slothful will not rest his gain. Who is diligent man will clear pressure with, and the path of righteous life, in his pathway there is no death. Psalm 16. 17. Preserve me for God, for in you I take refuge. I say to the Lord, you are my Lord, I have no good apart from you. As for the saints of my Lord, they are the excellent ones, and in him is all my delight. The sorrows of those who run after another God shall multiply. Who drink on me, but I'll not pour out. No one take their names on my list. Lord, the choice portion in my cup. You hold my light, and the light to fall from me in pleasant places. Indeed, I have a beautiful inheritance. The best of the Lord gives you counsel, and the light is in my heart instruction. I set the Lord is always before me, because in my hand I shall not be shaken. If my whole being is heart is glad, my whole being is my flesh is a just go. You are not abandon my soul to show you, Lord, let your hold on my corruption. You make known to me the path of life, in your presence there's fullness and joy. You pleasure forevermore. Now I shall not do the most forever. You can his Father, now how be in him, can call it done as is in heaven. His said David, forgive us test if you not doubt, at least not to taste less evil. It's kingdom upon the glory of our mercy to our back.